Moses and the Israelites sang this song to God, giving voice together. I'm singing my heart out to God. What a picture. We pitched horses and rider into the sea. God is my strength. God is my strength. Yes. God is my salvation. This is the kind of God I have. And I'm telling the world, this is the God of my Father. I'm spreading the news far and wide. God is a fighter, pure God. God is true. Pharaoh's chariots and army dumped into the sea. Dumped in the sea, the elite of his officers he drowned in the Red Sea. While ocean waters poured over them, they sank like a rock in the deep blue sea. Was strong. In the right hand, God shimmers with power. Your strong right hand shatters the enemy in your mighty majesty. You smash their upstart enemies. You let loose your hot anger. Burn them to a crisp. At a blast of your nostrils, the waters piled up. Tumbling streams dammed up, while oceans curdled into a swamp. And he spoke, "On purpose I'll hunt them down, I'll divide up the splendor, I'll gut myself of them, I'll put out a sword, my fist will send them reeling." You blew all your might, the sea covered them with sand. Let wait in the majestic waters, Who compares to you, gods, O God? Who compares to you in power and holy majesty? Awesome praises. Wonder working God. You stretched out your right hand and the earth swallowed them. But the people you redeemed, you led in merciful love, you guided them in your protection to your own pasture. When the people heard, they were scared. Philistines breathed, trembled. Yes, even the head men of Edom were shaken, and the big bosses of Moab. Everybody in Canaan panicked and fell faint. Dread and terror set them reeling before your brandished right arm. They are stuck. Until your people crossed over and entered, O God. Until the people you made cross over and entered. You brought them and planted them at the mountain. The heritage. Place where you live. Place you make your sanctuary, Master, that you establish with your own hands. Let God rule forever, for eternity. Yes. Pharaoh's horses and chariots and riders went into the sea, and God turned the waters back on them, but the Israelites walked on dry land while they ruled in the sea. Miriam, the prophetess, Aaron's sister, took a tambourine, and all the women followed her with tambourines dancing. Miriam led them in singing. Sing to God, what a victory! A pitched horse and rider into the sea, into the sea. Moses led Israel from the Red Sea, of shore. They traveled for 3 days, through the wilderness without finding any water. They got to Mara. Couldn't drink no water at Mara. It was bitter. That's why they call the place Mara. Bitter. And the people complained to Moses, so how are you supposed to drink? So Moses cried out to God. God pointed him to a stick of wood. Moses threw it into the water, and the water turned sweet. That's the place where God set up rules and procedures that where he started testing. God said, if you listen immediately to how God tells you to live in his presence, obey his commands, and keep it on his laws, and I won't strike you with all the diseases that are inflicted on the Egyptians. I'm God the healer. They came to him where there were 12 springs of water, 70 palm trees. So they camped there. Wow. Exodus 17. On the 15th day of the second month after he had left Egypt, the whole company of Israel moved from Elim to the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai. The whole company of Israel complained against Moses and Aaron were there in the wilderness. The Israelites said, "Why didn't you let us die in the comfort of Egypt? Where we had lamb stew and all the bread we could eat, brought us into this wilderness to starve us to death." The whole company of Israel. God said to Moses, "I'm going to rain bread from the skies for you. The people will go out and gather each day's ration. I'm going to test them to see if they'll live according to my teaching or not." And the 6th day, when they prepare what they have gathered, I'll turn out to be twice as much as their daily ration. It will turn out to be twice as much as their daily ration. Moses and Aaron told the people of Israel, "This evening you will know that it is God who brought you out of Egypt. And in the morning you will see the glory of God. Yes, he will listen to your complaints against him. You haven't been complaining against us, but against God." Moses said, "Since it will be God who gives you meat for your meal in the evening and your fill of bread in the morning, it's God who will listen to your complaints against him." Who are we in all of this? Who are we in all this? You haven't been complaining to us, you've been complaining to God. Moses instructed Aaron, "Tell the whole company of Israel, come to God, he's heard the complaints." Aaron gave all the instructions to the whole company of Israel. They turned to face the wilderness, and there was the glory of God visible in the cloud. God spoke to Moses. Listen to the complaints of the Israelites. Now tell them, at dusk you will eat meat, at dawn eat your fill of bread, and you realize God, your God. That evening quail flew in, covered camp in the morning. There was a layer of dew all over the camp. Layer of dew had lifted. There on the wilderness ground was a fine, flaky something, fine as frost on the ground. It's gone, boss. The boss has that's gone, so. Israelites took one look and said, yeah, was some real exactly one time. Man, sit the next thing, you know. I have to be careful of it. One of us on the show. Damn, man, let's get into it. So, the Israelites took one look and said to one another, man, who, what is this? They had no idea what it is, so Moses told them, he said, God is giving you to eat. And these are God's instructions. Gather enough for each person, about 2 quarts per person. Gather enough for everyone in your tent. People of Israel went to work and started gathering, some more, some less. But when they measured out what they had gathered, those who gathered more had no extra than those who gathered less run short. Each person had gathered as much as was needed. Moses said to them, don't leave any of it until morning. But they didn't listen to Moses. Few of the men kept back some of it until morning. It got warm, it slept bad. Moses lost his temper. He gathered it each morning, each person according to need. Then the sun ate it up and it melted. On the 6th day, they gathered twice as much bread, about 4 quarts per person. Then the leaders of the company came to Moses and reported. Moses said, this is what God was talking about. Tomorrow is a day of rest, a holy Sabbath. Go back. Whatever you plan to make today. Until you plan to boil today. Then set aside the leftovers until morning. Then set aside what was left until morning. And Moses had commanded. They set aside what was served until morning as well as commanded. It didn't smell bad and there were no worms in it. Moses said, now eat it. This is the day of Sabbath for you. You won't find any of it on the ground today. Gather it every day for 6 days. At the 7th day, the Sabbath, there won't be any of it on the ground. On the 7th day, some of the people went out to gather anyway. But they didn't find anything. God said to Moses, how long are you going to disobey my commands and not follow instructions? Don't you see that God has given you a Sabbath? So on the 6th day he gives you bread for 2 days. So each of you stay home. Don't leave home on the 7th day. So the people quit working on the 7th day. The Israelites needed manna. What is it? It looked like coriander seed radish. It tasted like a cracker. Honey. Moses said, this is God's command. Keep a 2-quart jar of it. And Omer, for future generations. so they can see the bread that I fed. After I brought you out of Egypt, Moses told Aaron, take a jar and fill it in 2 parts of manna. Place it before God, keeping it safe for future generations. Aaron did what God commanded Moses. He set it aside before the testimony to preserve it. The Israelites ate the manna for 40 years until they arrived at the land where they would settle down. They ate manna until they reached the border into Canaan. According to the ancient measurements, an omer is 1/10 of an ephah. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Reading the parents. 2 chapter that, boss here. 2 chapter that. Sleep out some. Sleep out some. Yes, sir. Alright, yeah. Alright, away.